Alright, so here we go. The first WingoTalk hot topic lesson ever. Okay, this hot topic is the rising age of marriage. Let's warm up with the question, what does the word marriage make you think of? Okay, does it stress you out? Does it make you think of kids or houses or what do you think of? Talk about it with your group. Okay, we've got 5 vocabulary words. Number 1 is a phrase, rise through the ranks. So we see the business worker here. We see their different levels, right, in the picture. The definition is to go from a lower position to a higher position, especially in corporations, military, society, etc. Any kind of group with a hierarchy where you can start here and go up, right? Example, Jane joined the company as a clerk, but climbed the ranks until she became CEO. Okay, the phrase is flexible. Cornerstone. Here we see the actual cornerstone of a building. Okay, it's the bottom part in the corner. And this area especially is important. If you were to remove it, the building might fall down. So it is a real thing, but nowadays we use it figuratively to kind of explain something that is really important and we can't take it out. Here's a funnier version. Hamburgers, the cornerstone of any nutritious breakfast. So this is a joke. Yeah. The definition, a basic and important part of something from what the rest is built on top of. Education is the cornerstone of a great society. So, in a great society, if you take away education, it will no longer be great. In my culture in the USA, people really care about free speech. If you take away free speech, people think it's not American culture anymore. If you have a steak dinner and you have some, green beans and maybe a bowl of fruit and then a steak, it's not a dinner anymore if you take away the steak, right? If you take away the bowl of fruit, it's okay. It's still a meal, right? You have steak and green beans and whatever else. But if you have no steak, it doesn't really feel like a meal. Okay, that's the cornerstone. In favor of. Okay, she's choosing blue milk, green milk, right? Definition 1, preferring one thing over another thing. A similar definition, to support or like something. In favor of saving money, we decided to take a shorter vacation this year. So instead of 2 weeks at the beach, maybe you take 1 weekend at a campground and just go camping in a tent. Save a lot of money. Okay? Example 2, we are in favor of building a new school. It'll be expensive, but we need it. So here we're supporting something. We're supporting taxes to pay for the new school. Newly-wed. This couple is newly-wed. Just married. Okay? Recently married. We put the dash, the hyphen, in the middle of the word because it is an adjective. However, it can also be a noun. As we see, there's 2 versions, adjective and noun. The newlywed couple moved into their home after getting married. The newlyweds went to Bali for their honeymoon. And the second version is a noun. Okay, we're talking about the people, the newlyweds. The first version, we're talking about the couple, and we're describing the couple with newlywed, right? The newlywed couple or the newlyweds. Number 5, tie the knot. In the picture, we see 2 characters getting married. They are tying the knot. If you tie the knot, you can't take it apart. You're connected forever. You're married. So this is kind of a slang phrase for getting married, okay? An example, John finally tied the knot after dating a different girl for every year, 10 years, right? For 10 years. So people think, wow, is John ever going to get married? He's been dating for 10 years. It seems like he doesn't want to get married. Then he finally did. Okay, he found somebody who was perfect, and now they're married. They tied the knot. Okay, here is the story. In many countries around the world, the age when people get married has been rising. One example is South Korea, where in 1990 the average age for getting married was just over 26 years old. But that number has steadily risen to 31.5 in less than 2 decades. Some of the common reasons for this change include educational pursuits, fears of marriage, and personal dreams. A big reason that people are busy studying and don't have much time for serious relationships. It's no secret that one of the strongest values that Koreans hold is the importance of education. Some people even say your life can be decided by which college you attend. Using education to rise through the ranks of society is one of the cornerstones of the culture. As a result, some people are delaying marriage in favor of getting multiple degrees and studying abroad to learn foreign languages. And many people feel that they cannot attract the ideal romantic partner until they've gotten the right education and job. Once they do enter the workforce, Koreans then famously work long hours at the office, although new laws are slowly changing this. Hard-earned paychecks should then be saved because newlywed couples are also expected to move into an apartment that requires a deposit larger than an average year's salary. So it's not surprising that more and more people are afraid to tie the knot. Others prefer the single life. The number of adults living alone is growing quickly, and they're spending their paychecks now instead of saving up for expensive marriages. And they're getting more tattoos, taking more trips to faraway countries, and adding pictures of beaches and fancy cocktails to their social media accounts. For moments of loneliness, there are YouTube stars who broadcast their dinner for you to eat along with. Marriage is getting scarier, and living alone is getting easier. Okay, let's look at a chart with some related information. We see the age of first marriages. The first marriage for women and men. Women in red, men in blue. We see in 1990 the average age for marriage was 24.8 for women, 26.3 for men. It has gradually gone up. In 17 years, we see a jump, about 6 years for women, and about over 5 years for men, slightly. So it keeps going up higher and higher and higher. I would like you to discuss with your group. Do you think it will continue to go up? Do you think this is it? 10 years later, 50 years later, people will still get married around age 30 or 32? Or do you think it might be 35 as the average first age? Or maybe even 40? Do you think it will continue to go up? Okay, talk about this with your group. And maybe talk about how it's different or similar in your country. Okay, discussion questions. Number 1. What are the pros and cons? Pros and cons, good things and bad things. What are the pros and cons to getting married younger and later? So maybe there's something good about getting married young. Maybe there's something good about getting married late. Talk about it. Number 2. Are you spending your youth differently than your parents did? If so, how? I know my life as a 20-year-old or 25-year-old is much different than when my parents were 20 or 25. And so talk about it. Number 3, what are some other reasons not included in the story why people don't get married? Do you think marriage will be uncommon in the future? Why? What are some of the ways couples and single people live differently? The big question. Okay, for this question, talk about it with great detail. Support your answer with supporting details. Okay, don't just say yes or no or yeah. I think they're getting married later because people want to. Okay, give a lot of detail, and you can also write on your blog on WingoTalk.com, and your teacher can check your answer and fix mistakes or give you feedback, and your classmates can also talk about your opinion, like, wow, you really think that? Okay, so yeah, answer right now with your group, and then go on WingoTalk.com and type it out in detail.